Hello beautiful people, hi, welcome to my channel, welcome to Kate's Space. So good to be back doing another video, and this time we're going to do some crafting. Congratulations to the winner of my little giveaway, that was a lot of fun. And again, another really heartfelt thank you to those of you who entered and who have commented. Now, for those of you who haven't seen my latest Graphics Fairy Design Team project, it's up on their YouTube channel this time, and I will leave a link below so that you can go and watch it. It's just a little open spined, very summery, gardeny themed journal. And yeah, if you want a full flip through, you can go over to the Graphics Fairy and have a look, and yeah, have a look at it there. What I did want to do was, one of the things I made in this journal, which I really loved, was a tag. And I decided I wanted to make a tag out of an envelope, one of my old envelopes. And so I made the tag with some digitals, and then on the other side I thought, oh, maybe I could turn it into a little notebook. So then I decorated just a little bit on the front, because I actually love these old envelopes and I don't really want to cover up most of the stuff. This one's from 1942. It's not actually a New Zealand one, I think it's from the States. And then I thought, oh, I'll just strengthen that and make it into a little notebook with some, this is some very old New Zealand ephemera from 1884, and so that's tucked inside that journal. So I thought we could do it together. So I've made this one. This is a different sort of sized envelope. It's much wider than this one, but again, it's a vintage envelope. I haven't done anything on the side yet because I can't decide, but I think I'm going to put this lace on here, and that's about it. This one is a bit smudged here, and I don't know whether maybe I should be covering that up. I'm not sure. So I haven't decided on the front of this one, but I have used some beautiful digitals by Heather from Ruby and Pearl. I printed out her La Belle purchase, which I shouldn't really have done, but anyway, purchased and printed out her La Belle kit, and I just love it. Okay, so this one has, I've lined the front here. I've used some washi tape in the center, and these are some pages. Again, some old New Zealand ephemera in here, and just some old book pages. This page here is from the New Zealand Gazette from the 1880s. It's very old, but it's really in good, I mean, it looks old and grungy, but it's in quite good condition. A French book page out of a French book that I found at a second-hand shop, and then a little page out of my really old Language of Flowers birthday book. So yeah, I thought we would make one. I found an envelope I really like, this one here. This is a New Zealand one, Wellington, January 1951, but I liked the airmail. There's probably not a lot I'll do to this. So this side here becomes the tag, and the other side becomes the front of the booklet. I'm going to glue this little bit down here, and then we want it to open this way, so I'm going to just, I actually think I should purchase a letter opener. Probably can't buy them anymore, but you can probably buy them in second-hand shops. Right, so I'm just going to tear this way. Hopefully this is going to work. Okay, so that's our tag, and that's the front of our book. That way, so it opens this way. Okay, so you glue down all your extra bits. And then we need to decide what we're going to put behind here. This one, the original one I made, is very simple. As far as I can tell, I've just used one piece of the digital and then just a little picture. This one I've got a few more layers and I quite like that. I thought maybe I'd like to use this image this time, but I'm just not sure if it's probably a little bit too big. Got some old book page that I think I want to put behind. But yeah, I'm not sure if that image is going to work. I've got this, it doesn't have to be a picture of anybody, it could just be a pretty image like that. So I'm going to go organize some pages for a friend, some old book pages, because I think I have quite a few, and she said she didn't have many. That's Maggie from Waste Some Time with Maggie on YouTube. And when I was sorting some papers out, I remembered that I had these old New Zealand Gazettes down, and they're down in my garage, so they're stored because of emptying out the room that's one day going to hopefully become my studio. And I went down to have a look at them, and they were already damaged when I bought them. And I have one from 1888, which was the most damaged. I took as much of the damaged paper out of that one, and then I had another one from 1914, which just had this, all it had was the spine, no covers. And then I've got another one from 1919, and that has the covers and the spine. So I basically spent the afternoon taking them all to pieces. Right, now we need to make sure we do this round the right way. That way. Yeah, so that was fun. And now I have this huge pile of very old papers that I need to use up. So I'm not finding that I'm loving that one very much. I think I would like an image, and I think I might print this one out again because I really like it. So I'll do that, and then I'll come back. So this is the picture I want to use. I just love it. I think I'm going to use this kit to death, actually. I've made two little tag book things following along from I've made two tag book type folio trifolds that Rachel from Roxy Creations made, inspired by Heather from Ruby and Pearl, and that just really got me inspired. So I've made a couple, and I haven't finished them. I just have the tags to make, so I might do that on video to fill them up. But yes, I'm really loving this kit. It's beautiful. So I don't want it that wide, so I'm going to cut this down a bit at the sides. I just think I thought I was going to have some of the script, but I don't think we're really going to see much of the script. I'll take mostly the sides off, see what that looks like. There we go. Yep. And then I did have that book page, but I'm wondering whether I want brown, maybe some brown paper behind it. We'll just get out our piece of old brown paper. This is still the paper bag from my mum that she had all the lace in. All getting used. just going to scrunch that up a little bit. Don't think I want that serrated edge. I'm just going to have some of the envelope showing at the back, I think, as well. Hopefully I'll better rip this. It's quite tough, quite a tough paper bag, this one. Okay, let's put that there. Excuse me. I'm just making sure that I am in the view of the camera, because I felt like the last couple of videos I made I was not. Right, I'm just going to use glue stick to glue this down. I would like, I think I want to put some fabric behind. So I'm just going to pop that on the paper bag. Now that brown paper is not straight, so it's gonna be hard to have anything straight on here. The fabric I wanted to use was this really lovely sheer piece of fabric, which now I cannot find. Oh, yes, here it is. Yeah, it's from an old garment that was given to me, and I just want some of that peeking out, but I'm wondering whether it should have been behind the image rather than the brown paper. So whether it should have been, ooh, here we go, taking things apart, whether it should have been like that. So we make something for the second time and it just doesn't really work. Like right now. Okay, so I'm just going to go with the brown paper, maybe not the fabric. On there. And I do want to have a little, we could have a little bit of lace maybe coming off. But I think I would like to use one of my seals, my wax seals. I had fun yesterday making a whole lot of them. So I quite like this darker red one. So I think I'm going to use this dark red one. And whether we can put some fabric behind it. Like I made this one, when I made it I put the fabric behind it. Kind of cute, I don't know. I don't know about it. Let's just have a little look. It's quite old, this fabric, so it does just tear really easily. Go. Just put a little bit of something behind there. Does that look a bit weird? Maybe it's a bit odd, but I quite like it. So I'm just going to glue that onto there. Okay, yep, I'm going to keep it really simple, I think, this one. Lots of glue onto the back here of the envelope. I haven't inked it, which is not like me. It's too late now, I can't really get my ink up on it. I wish I had inked it though. It's okay. And And then I'm going to glue this onto here. Excuse me, I've still got a little bit of a croaky, froggy voice. I apologise. I might try with something. It's a bit hard to do it after the fact. Okay. And then I'm going to put some art glitter glue on the centre of this wax seal. Hopefully that'll go through the fabric. I mean, I know we put, what do we put? That cheesecloth, like on this one I've put cheesecloth under the whole image, so we use that. So I guess this is no different, it's just a different kind of sheer sort of fabric to add another layer. And then we need a sort of a topper, so I'm wondering what I'm going to put at the top. Right, I'm just going to make my, I'm just going to start off by making some hole reinforcers. I still haven't really worked out how to get the hole right in the middle. And then I looked at my hole reinforcers that I bought and I realised the holes aren't actually right in the middle. Anyway, oh, that one's actually not too bad. That one is not too bad. Oh, that one's too close to the edge. I can tell now that's going to be too close to the edge. Yep. That one is too, probably. Oh dear. I'm not winning. Ooh. So we could just have just a simple hole reinforcer. I will ink these. How is everybody today? It's taken me this long to ask you how you are. I'm really sorry about that. If you're still watching, how are you? I hope you're well and crafting. We've had some lovely days. It's cold. I put a story up on my Instagram the other day of an afternoon walk that I had, because I'm trying to slowly start doing some exercise again. And it was just a beautiful evening. It was so still and just hardly any wind. So it was absolutely gorgeous. Right, so I'm just going to sort of put this in the center there. Yeah, so that was very pleasant. So it is nice on those cold, lovely cold sunny days to go for a walk, and it doesn't feel quite so wintry. But yep, we've got our fire going, keeping us warm. Right, and so then I'm just going to make my hole here and then put the other one on the other side. Nothing very fancy today. It's funny how when I try and make something a second time, it never feels like it is as good, or I like it as much. But I like the idea of using these envelopes and then turning them into little books. I really like that idea. So we'll tie something on the top of that. And that is really simple, but because that image is so beautiful, I still really love it. I just love that image, so that's cool. Now, what are we going to do on this side? On the other one, I simply put a piece of torn goodness me, I'm so sorry, a piece of torn paper that had some texture paste like that on it. This one I don't want to cover up much at all, and I actually really like that, even though that's what I was going to put on the other one, but I think I'm going to put it on this one, and I think that's all I really want. So let's use some fabric glue. and see if we can get this to glue down without making too much mess and too much leaking through. I went to the hairdresser. David had gone down to Palmerston North, so it's about a 2.5 hour drive away, for the night to see his parents, because his dad had a bit of a had fallen over a few days ago and ended up in hospital. So David had gone down back then, and now he was just going back down for another visit to check he was okay and just check in with everybody. And so I had my hair appointment, and for those of you who haven't seen me, I have very curly hair, and oh no, it's probably about 2 years ago I decided I was going to follow the curly girl method. Not that I have ever straightened my hair, but I'm forever looking for products to try and make it curl and try and get rid of the frizz and la-di-la-di-la. Anyway, I happened upon the curly girl method, and so I decided to follow that. And then not long after that, I decided I also was going to stop colouring my hair as well and let it go natural, which is mostly grey. So this week was the day really that we took most of the last of the colour out of my hair, but it has made it quite short. I haven't had it this short for a long time, and I knew that David wouldn't be very impressed because he's a fan of long hair. Anyway, he's fine. He's over it. Funny. Anyway, now we just make some pages. We'll reinforce down here with either some washi tape, or even you can just use some more different book page that's a bit stronger. Doesn't really matter what you use. I've also got masking tape, which I sometimes use. You can age this with some ink. Just get in there and age it. It's funny, I've just revisited the Ruby and Pearl video on aging papers with Angie, and Heather keeps going, oh, my ink, you know, there's too much ink. And I always have the opposite problem. I never seem to be able to get enough ink up onto my sponge. I don't know if it's me or the weather here or what happens with these inks, but right, so you can put that down the middle. Another thing I like is this paper tape. This one's really wide, and it's actually you wet it, but sometimes I'll just okay, so like I'll tear a bit off, and then I'll just tear the sides so it looks a bit more rugged, and then stick that in, and that's a good way to reinforce things. I might do that. And then you just need some water. The only thing you need to be aware of if you make it too wet, which I sometimes do, is that you don't want it to wet your digital, because that will affect your digital. So hopefully I haven't made that too wet. Stick that on. Wait for that to dry, and then we just need to select some little papers to go in the centre. So I probably have made that too wet, but I quite like the look of that stuff. It's quite cool. Right, so let's choose some papers. So I'm just going to go, yep, I'm definitely going to use this one. So I love those edges. And we'll just tuck that in that way. So it's a public holiday here in New Zealand. It's the first time that we have had this public holiday. It's a New Zealand specific holiday called Matariki, and it celebrates the new year and the Māori New Year. And yeah, so today is a public holiday, so a long weekend. So that's nice. I'm just going to tear that off. Okay, so there's one piece, some book page, a couple of my favourites. I love this wee book. I'll be sad when I've used all the pages out of here. Is that going to be too, that's going to poke out a little bit. I don't mind. And then we've got this one, which is the French book that I found at my local sort of second-hand shop, but I think that's going to be too big too for this. That's the only thing with the envelope. This envelope is the narrowness of it will make it, a lot of these papers, too wide. But that's okay because I've got quite a few scraps here that I could use. I love this one, but I think this is a bit, maybe even a bit tatty for me. Kind of like it though, so it doesn't really matter, does it? What else have I got? Got this one, which I think I'll put in. And got this beautiful one. I might tear this one down and use this one. I'm going to go back and do my first class at the gym on Sunday. It's a Sunday morning class, a body balance one, which is not high impact. And I'm sure I'm going to find it super hard, but I think it's a good one to start with. And we'll see how I go. It'll be good to get back into something. Oops, that's not really very straight. Just straighten that up. I'm going to tear it off there. We've got a little bit of colour in there, so you don't need many pages. I'm going to bend this even though it's not dry. Yeah, and they're all sticking out, so I'm going to have to trim them. I'd like to use this one, but it's quite pink. Mind you, there's some pinks on there. Might look alright. Quite pretty. And the other thing is you can decorate in here, which I have for this one. Oh, and I think I did for the other one as well, didn't I? Let's have a look. Ooh. Oh yes, I put a fussy cut and just a little tiny bit of collaging in there and that piece of lace. And something on the back as well. So yeah, I like the papers I put in there. I might try and find some ledger. There's a few things. A little old receipt. It's a French piece there. And some, see if that's too tall, no, that's good. And some vintage, just note paper. Put that in somewhere. And I've got this as well, does it fit? Yes. I'll put that in the middle. I want it to stick out too much. Okay. And that's a piece of New Zealand ephemera as well, so that's kind of cool. I might take that one away because that's got a folded out bit. And put that maybe there. Got one little digital. Most of this is old and vintage, which I like. And it's going to slip into there. So I am going to take some of these back just a smidge. I hate doing that on the old books, but that's okay, just this once. Just take a tiny little bit off. Hopefully it'll tear all right. And also this one here. This is too big. Take that one off. Whoops, it moved, so now it's not straight, never mind. Let's see how they tuck in now. That's better. Okay, let's sew them in. I know they're very plain, I kind of like that, and that can just be changed by decorating them with different things. I might pop this in here somewhere. This one's been hanging around for a while. It needs to go somewhere, so we might pop that somewhere. Right, I'll get my string. I'm just going to wax this. Shouldn't need too much for this tiny little book. Always cut too much off, but I'd rather too much than too little, I guess. And then I'm going to just thread my needle, and then I am going to try really hard to not worry too much about measurements, because it's just a little book after all. It hardly even needs 3 holes. What did I do in this one? Yeah, I did do 3 in that one. So let's just do it all in one go. I'm going to use some big paper clips just to hold it relatively stable while I do this. Now I have to think about making my journal for Junk Journal July, and I was actually wondering about whether I have enough envelopes. Well, we know I have enough envelopes if you've been watching my 100 days of envelopes, but whether I have enough vintage envelopes to maybe put a journal together completely made out of envelopes, because it's only for a month, so you don't need too many. Okay, so the center one goes basically there. That's pretty okay. And then this one's going to go, I think I'm going to put that one there. And that one there. Now that is pretty relaxed for me. So it's good. It's good for me to do things like this, because I learn to just relax with it, not measure every single thing and take forever to do everything. Just go with the flow. Use some of the old ephemera that I've got. Don't worry about it. So yeah, it's very good. Right, and just pop that one back up into the center. Try not to catch my thread. Go. Okay, and then we just tie that in a knot. I mean, it doesn't have to be super duper tight or anything, because it's not going to be under much stress. It's just a wee notebook. I'll just knot that a couple of times. There you go. Take these off. Decided I don't like the paper clips, because what I'm finding is they scratch. scratch my digitals. Went to all that trouble to print it out onto some beautiful paper, and then you pin something to it and it leaves a scratch. I'm not happy about that. Okay, so there we have our little booklet. That's kind of cute. It's nothing earth-shattering, but it's kind of cute. There's a little tuck there if you want to use it. This sort of folds out. Tuck, tuck. I don't know what to do with that one, but anyway, it's there. Lots of extra things here to be used if someone wants to use them or decorated. There's some old tape down here, or what was old tape, and I've got some old tape. I might put some up the top there on that tear. So I need to glue it. Stuck it down here. I might just cut it. Oh no, I think I'll bring it over to the other side because that edge is torn and it'll be too hard to cut it. Too hard to cut it accurately. How weird would people think when they see me recycling old sellotape? They'll be like, you know, you can still buy that, don't you? Oh, the things we get up to. Right, quite like how that looks. Okay, should we find something? Just going to glue these down. I do want it to look like it's an envelope that's been changed into a little booklet. I don't want it to, I don't really want to disguise it. But okay, well, let's just put something up here. I'm just going to stay neutral for my tie up here. There we go. Try and pull it tight without ripping the top of the tag, because it's just, yeah, it's, as we know, it's not cardstock, so it's not super strong. There we go, that worked. And then some scissors to just cut our sari silk. Oh, it's not too long. Oops, that was a bit. Yeah, so there we go. There's our little basic envelope, altered envelope booklet. And as you can see, you can just put any papers in here, and it looks like a tag when you have it in a pocket in your journal, but it's also a little book, or you could put it on the front of a journal as well, I guess. But these are the tag booklets I'm working on. It could sit on the front there like that and look really lovely. Or alternatively, it could also maybe fit into one of these pockets. I'm not sure. Oh yeah, it does. It fits in there. It's a bit fat though. It's a little bit fat, or it could go at the top here, no. But yeah, that's what could happen with that, and I think they're cute. I think it needs maybe a little bit more decoration on the inside covers here, but again, not necessarily if you wanted to leave it nice and plain and show off the beautiful cream envelope. So I'm really happy with that. I've got to finish this one off as well. And yeah, I hope you enjoyed that. It was just a little thing that I'd made, and I was very happy with it, and I think I'll make more of those. Thanks so much for watching and for hanging out with me today. I hope you have a really wonderful day and you're well, and getting some creative things done. And I will look forward to seeing you again soon in the next video. Bye.